Hello everyone, I'm Sophie and I'm currently at Kechara Forest Retreat, Bentong, Malaysia. And today I will continue reading from the book by my guru, His Eminence, the 25th Samtuku Rinpoche. And this is the book that I'll be reading from, Peace, a compilation of short teachings by Sam Rinpoche. Here you go, Peace. And I will be reading from page 36 on chapter 1, Peace Begins, number 3. So before that, I will go to the picture to share with you. And this is it. So page 36, number 3. With insight Bubali and respecting female energy. All women are Dakinis and they hold up half the sky. All women are Dakinis, and we should accord them the respect as such. In Buddhism, women are considered the pillars of the family. They provide emotional strength. They are gentle and feminine, yet strong. They are miracle workers. Their energy is wisdom. They produce children and they give their male companions what they want. They give us company and they support us. In Asian societies especially, women are incredible because they are taught to put up with a lot of things from men, and they do put up with these things. Women are treasures, and we have to respect them as treasures. Traditionally, what men want is not to come home to a nagging wife who rants and raves and complains about everything. Men feel that they have worked all day and they just want to come home and have their wives make a nice home for them. Men want their women to be nice little wives, to stay home, to always give them respect, and not to cause them any embarrassment. Men like to sit there, be served, and be given things. It does not matter if it is wrong or right. In every old culture, tradition has dictated that women serve men. It is up to you if you wish to follow tradition or if you want to follow logic. That is not really my business. I'm not here to change 20,000 years of society and culture. But what I'm trying to say is that however we are served by others, we will have to serve them one day. The karma will come back. Everyone wants something from each other. That's natural, isn't it? So why don't we give that to each other? It is something very small. So take care of your wives. They are Dakinis. They gave you your children. They gave you a lot of pleasure. They gave you company. They have stayed through thick and thin with you. Give back. Imagine yourself running around for 9 months with a huge belly. Buddha recognized the value of female energy and made the female Buddhas, Vajrayogini and Tara, most supreme in the hierarchy of the practices. It is not because women are better than men, but as even Mao Zedong recognized, women hold up half the sky. We need to stop sitting there expecting women to do things for us. We need to reward them. Tomorrow or the day after, immediately go and buy some flowers for your wife. Yes, it is a little embarrassing and you feel a little stupid, but it does not matter. That stupidity and the embarrassment are over really quickly. You have money for drinks and friends, but you do not have money for your wives? That isn't good. Don't be embarrassed. I know that for some of you, after being married for 20 years, you've never even given one petal to your wife. So now that you give her flowers, she might wonder what your motive is. It's definitely not Bubali. Some of you haven't had Bubali with your wives in over 15 years. I asked some of you when was the last time you had Bubali, and you couldn't remember. But it's not really about Bubali. It's about inside Bubali. It is the feeling you get from Bubali, the warmth, the forgiveness, the care, because time is short. So take care of your wives, bring them flowers once every 2 or 3 months. Take them out with no motive. Don't just take them out to the market or to a cheap cafe and say, I took you out, so keep quiet now. Isn't your wife worth a few $100s for a night out? What are you saving your money for? What are you keeping it for? Even Tutankhamun couldn't take any of the pyramids and all the wealth inside them with him. It's in the British Museum now. What do you think you're going to take with you to your next life when you die? Your 100,000 or $200,000? Remember, you came into this life naked, just holding up to the placenta. Just holding on to the placenta. And women, what can they do for men? You know what they want? Men only want one thing, just one thing, to stop being nagged. So just shut up. Don't nag them. You know how men are not expressive. They don't like to talk about things. They don't want to tell you things. So stop nagging your husband, ranting, complaining, and making noise. I'm not just talking about doing that to your husbands. I'm also talking to about your friends, your mother, your aunt, or whoever you nag the life out of. Stop. What's the big deal? It's a small price to pay, a very small gift to give back. You get flowers. They don't get nagging. Then you get a little bit closer. And children must serve their parents. You must do this if you want to practice Buddhism. Go into retreat, do your sadhanas, and accomplish things that are of value. Take a look at the children who serve their parents and those who don't serve their parents, and see where they are in life, where their mental level is, and how good their minds are. Even if they cannot serve their parents physically, children who serve their parents mentally, by not fighting back or helping in whatever way they can, usually have a mental attitude that is more pliable, nicer, and kinder. They have achieved more in life. The kids who don't get anywhere in life are the ones who don't serve their parents. There's nothing magical here. They show you the nature of their mind and how deep their selfish mind is. No one in your life, directly or indirectly, has been kinder to you on a physical level than your parents. No one. This could also be an aunt or uncle who has taken care of you, or anyone who has been kind to you. It does not have to be your biological parents. If you don't take care of and serve your parents, why do you have them? You're doing your sadhanas and prayer retreats and making offerings, but you are not holy in any way, and you will not gain any attainments if you do not serve your parents. To serve one's parents is a measuring stick of how intense our selfish mind is, or not, and of our attainments. So, if you can, serve your parents intensely. If they do not need you physically, or if they do not need your service, then serve them mentally. If they don't need your service mentally, then at least don't be a burden to them in any way, now or in the future. That is service to your parents. If we are a burden for them in the past, the present, and the future, we are extremely selfish people, and we will not get anywhere in our Dharma practice. We will never get anywhere, even in life, because how we treat our parents reflect our attitude. Stop looking at your parents' few flaws and thinking that your expectations were not fulfilled. That is a result of your own karma. Holding on to that and saying that you are not nice to your parents because they didn't do this or that for you is actually a cover-up for your own very selfish mind. Serve your parents, drive them around, eat with them, call them, take care of them, listen when they talk to you, listen to them with a smile when they tell you the same story 5,000 times, and happily ask them what happened again and again and again. Give them massages and make time for them. Do you know why? Because that's all that's left. If you don't serve your parents in a physical, mental way, you are not a Dharma practitioner. If you do any higher practices, such as Vrajayogini or Heruka, you will gain zero attainments and zero progress. In fact, you will go backwards. You might do the practice for years but nothing will happen. If you are asking why you are still the same, it is because you have not served your parents and because the measuring stick of the selfishness of the mind has not lessened. And if your selfishness has not lessened, how can you progress in your sadhanas? That is why we do the preliminary practices which transform the mind to make it pliable and ready for tantric practice. Don't think you just do tantric practice and your life changes. If you want to do tantra, you need to take care of your parents, the people who have been kind to you and the people around you, your wives and your children and your husbands. You need to be kind. Don't expect people to serve you. You serve them and help them. Don't wait for people to give you things. You do it. Everything. Sorry. Every time someone gives you a cup of tea and you expect it, you collect the karma and you habituate the selfish mind. You harm yourself. You get the moment's thrill, but ultimately it is not good. Don't sit there and wait for money from someone. If you really need it and you get it, it's wonderful. But don't blackmail and manipulate for it. The message here is that it's time to bring Dharma home. I want everyone to make an effort. If you think of me as your Lama, spiritual guide, or teacher, that is my instruction to you. If you think of me as a friend, that is my request. If you think of me as a nice person who has lived life and who knows a little bit more, this is me on my knees begging and pleading with you. It doesn't matter to me how you wish to view me, but you need to do that. You need to lessen the mind that brings harm to yourself. I'm talking about family values and welding families and people together, because peace and love come from that. Even when we do ceremonies for monks and nuns here in the future, it is not about taking people away from their families. It is about letting them live in austerity for a while to realize how much they have. I want your sadhanas not to be another mantra or another initiation, running after another lama. How many living Buddhas have you been sitting in front of and getting initiations from? And look at you, you're worse. You're not a living Buddha, you're a living nightmare. You don't need any more initiations and practices and all that. What you need is to take your mother and father out for dinner once a week, to take your wife or husband out for dinner once a week, to not nag your husband. Listen when people tell you what is wrong with you and stop being that way. You want to do a sadhana every week? That is it. Do something for the very people that you live with immediately, because that is Dharma. That is your sadhana. I'm not telling you to go home and chant mantras. Do you want to be spiritual? Buy flowers for your wife and take her out for a meal. Stop nagging your husband. Don't cheat on your husbands and wives in any way. You want the greatest yidam? The greatest yidam is getting behind a steering wheel and taking your mother or father out to eat. You want the greatest mantra? The greatest mantra is, how are you, mommy? How are you, daddy? What can I do for you? That is the greatest mantra at this moment for us. Do you know what's the greatest mind? The greatest mind is not wanting other people to change, but you yourself changing and accepting other people. The greatest mind is to stop wondering when they will change. No, you should think instead, when will I change? That is the greatest practice. So, if you believe in God, that's fabulous. If you believe in Buddha, that's fabulous. If you don't believe in anything, that's fabulous. But please believe in yourself, and please believe in the happiness you can bring to people around you. Believe in that. Wouldn't that be lovely? And that is the end of my sharing session for today. Thank you for joining me, and I do hope that you will continue to join me for my next session. And I will end this session with a completion dedication in Tibetan. Jang Jup Sen Jorin Boshi, Mage Panam Geyishi, Ge Panam Pame Payang, Goni Gondu Pewashu, Tony Doran Boshi, Mage Panam Geyishi, Ge Panam Pame Payang, Goni Gondu Pewashu, Daso Jini Sapage Wadi, Tandandroa Gunaga Padang, Jepa Jesu no Sandrapai, Tamping Imporin the Sa, Se Sho, Kewa Kuntu Yandala Madan, Drami Choki Panano Chonchi, Sadam Langi Yote Razone, Doje Chang Pangatusu, Gewadi, Yududa, Lama Sangudrione, Drewa Shikan Malupa, De Salago Pasho. ki ga po sung ga pa cho su nam pa pe wa ke ki sa ma si wa dang chung ki ma lo sang wa shu da dam sung ni de sun dan tre wa song ni la te ne ge wa lo san tra pa yi tam pa yo river gyu shi ni mo de le sen de le ni mi gu nyan de le shi ni sin ta to de le pa kun chu sung ni jing gi lo kun chu sung ni ngo do so kun chu sung ni tra si sho Yesu nama kusen rap ting ching nam country ni cho cho ke pa da lo sam tem pe dro min sap sung ni dro e mun sa ta to ni gyu shi gang we ra we ko e shin kam dem pen dan de o ma lu gyo ni chen ren zik wan ten sing get so i sha pe shi de ba du deng gyu shi hôm tôi bị ngó rồi mà lụp à đến để đó là sang du su có đàn đem bà lòng chọn nam cái bà số shit sụp tên sao. Thank you for joining me again and see you for the next sharing session.